This is Shane Watson here from PSD Sports. I'm lucky enough to be joined by Josh Taylor. How are you, Josh?
I'm good, mate. Yeah, how's yourself?
Good, thanks. Major announcement recently about your fight against Ryan Martin in the Hydro, with another exceptional fight on the undercard, Ryan Burnett against Nonito Donaire. First of all, how does it feel to have a fight like Nonito Donaire, and obviously Ryan Burnett is at the top of his game at the moment as well, fighting on your undercard at the Hydro?
Yeah, it's good. It's brilliant. I'm delighted that the fight is being announced and being in Glasgow, you know, in my home sort of arena. So it's great that I'm getting fights of this magnitude and that standard, and you know, fighters of this calibre on the same bill as me, and it's just great for Scottish boxing. It's great for Scottish boxing fans, and you know, I'm delighted to be a part of it. It's been absolutely amazing. So I'm chuffed to bits with my management team and confirming and being able to get the fight in Glasgow. So I'm over the moon. It's brilliant, really good.
Scottish boxing is booming at the moment. Obviously, Ricky Burns in the past was probably the flag bearer for Scottish boxing, obviously a freeweight world champion. But after he defeats Andy Cotter's obviously gone a bit quiet, and you're obviously the flag bearer now, you'd have to say. And obviously, you're very close to a world title shot. And how does it feel having the pressure of being the #1 boy in Scotland and being a flag bearer at the moment?
I don't feel any pressure. You know, I don't think about that at all. You know, I'm just proud. I'm proud at the fact that I'm keeping big fights in Scotland and big nights in Scotland. You know, and like you said, I'm on the cusp of winning world titles. So once I win these titles, I'll be keeping the big nights in Scotland and bring the belts back, and hopefully keep them there for as long as I can and for as long as I box, you know. So I'm happy that, you know, I'm able to keep big nights in Scotland, but I don't feel any pressure at all or anything like that, you know, flag bearer or anything like that. I don't think about that, because if you do start to think about things like that, it puts pressure on yourself, and then you start thinking, you know, you start thinking more about that than the actual boxing. So I don't think about any of that at all. I'm just happy to be a part of big nights and keeping big nights in Scotland, and I believe that I'm going to win these fights and win these tournaments. So there's many big nights to be coming, so I'm looking forward to it.
You see Ryan Martin, I believe he's quite a dark horse in this one. A lot of people overlook him. I know certainly you won't be and Shane won't be, but he has a great camp, he has a great trainer in Abel Sanchez, and he's mixing around with great fighters day in, day out with Triple G, Joyce and Gassiev amongst others as well. I mean, how tough of an opponent is Ryan Martin? What do you know of him, and are you expecting to be one of the toughest nights of your career?
I think it's going to be a tough fight, yes, a tough fight, but one that I'm fully confident of winning. I believe that, you know, I can beat him in near enough every department in the game. That being said, I do think he's a very strong fighter. You know, he's good at everything, he does everything really well, he's defensively sound, he's got fast hands, good defence, you know, and good timing. So I'm going to have to make sure I'm on it and make sure I'm performing well in the night to come out on top, and I'm sure that I will be. I'm sure that I always come out on top on fight night, and I always drag out a performance. So yeah, I'm fully confident in winning the fight. When
you go and fight in Scotland, I know how the atmosphere is, and obviously it's a big roar, so it gets you dragged into fights a lot, obviously, because it's just the way the fight is. And obviously in your last fight against Postel, it ended up being a war pretty much for 12 rounds in the end. Is that something that you prefer? Do you prefer to fight inside a war, or would you prefer to maybe use your boxing skills a bit more?
Listen, I just adapt as the fight goes on. I mean, you've got game plans and the way you want to box and tactics and things like that, but sometimes when the first bell goes, all the tactics and the game plans go out the window, because that's just the way the fight's not going. The fight's not going the way you planned. So you can plan all you want, but once that first bell goes, you just don't know what's going to happen. So I just adapt to what's happening in front of me, and I believe I showed that in my last fight. I can adapt and change my style of fighting when I need to. I can adapt to any kind of style and any kind of boxing way, and get a victory. So I feel confident in my ability. I can box if need to. I can fight if I need to, and you know, I can do it all. So I'm confident. Whatever's thrown at me, I can adapt and change and handle it.
Do you think it's significant how you're number 1 on box rec, even though you haven't won the world title yet, and also you're seeded number 2, even though you've got other world champions inside? Because I believe the first Yigit and I can't pronounce the guy's name, but they're fighting for a world title, aren't they? So that's the guys that you would take on next.
Yeah.
And you were originally going to fight Yigit for the European title, weren't you?
I was going to fight Yigit for the European title, but he decided not to fight. He decided to tuck tail and run away, basically, because I was due to fight him next after his defence against Joe Hughes, and he decided not to fight. He wanted to go another route. But now we're in the tournament. If he wins this fight against, I think it's Baranchek he's boxing, then he has to box me once I defeat Ryan Martin. So that's another fight I'm confident he's winning, and fully confident he's winning. But that being said, you know, that was a different route. That was the IBF. I wasn't really ranked in the IBF. So that's for the IBF belt. I was ranked in the WBC. I was going the WBC route, so that's why I was ranked number 1 in WBC.
I know you don't want to fast track to the final because you will have at least 2 hard fights before that, but and so will Regis Prograis as well. Without that, he'll have 2 hard fights. But what a final that could be! I mean, Regis Prograis, one of the most exciting talents in America at the moment, absolutely blowing his opponents away, and almost just like you are as well. What a final that could make, and that would be one that you would obviously love to have in Scotland if both are in the final.
I think it would be a great fight. But you know, he's got a hard fight in Terry Flanagan.
Yeah.
His first fight against Terry Flanagan is a hard fight. A lot of people aren't giving Terry Flanagan a chance, but Terry Flanagan's a top fighter. He's a really good fighter. You know, and I think he's got a really good chance of beating Progress. You know, just with his work rate and his fitness, and you know, I think he'll put it on him. You know, he's really a top fighter. So you never know what's going to happen. Progress might come through, and then I'll meet him in the final, or Terry Flanagan might come through, and then I could meet for Terry Flanagan in the final. That would be a great fight. That would be a huge fight for British boxing. You know, and either in Manchester or in Glasgow, it would be huge. It would be absolutely massive. It would be great if it was in the UK. Obviously, you don't know if that's going to happen because that's what's happened with George and Callum Smith. They're out in Saudi Arabia, but that would be huge. Me against Flanagan in the final, Manchester versus Edinburgh or Glasgow. You know, it'd be huge. But so you never know. But all the fights are mouth-watering fights in this tournament. They're all top fighters, so you never know what's going to happen.
And the gym must be absolutely buzzing at the moment. Talking about massive fights, you've got Luke Campbell, Yuvan Mendy, who I know he's obviously just recently joined McGuigan's gym. We've got George Groves in a massive British dust-up for his WBA belt in Saudi Arabia, as we just said. I mean, you've got Liam Gregor coming through in a Commonwealth title fight against Sommer, and you've also got Chris Smith in a final eliminator, I believe, against Robin Duper as well. The gym must be absolutely fun at the moment.
Yeah, it's buzzing, and then you've got Chantel as well, who's defending her belt as well. So it's the gym's buzzing at the minute. We're all jumping off each other, you know, and it's good to have Luke and George there as well. You know, with their experience, I'm learning off of them as well. You know, their experiences in boxing and being at that top level. You know, I'm still learning as well. So it's great. We all push each other in the gym and training. We're all competing against each other. You know, like to be the best trainer, to be the fittest, to be the fastest. You know, and to be the strongest and the best at this or the best at whatever we're doing in the gym. We're all competing against each other and pushing each other on every day. So it's brilliant, really good.
And great, just to round off, I remember obviously before you entered the World Boxing Super Series and before the Postal fight, there was talk of you and Ricky Burns, and which would be the biggest fight in Scottish boxing history.
Yeah.
And I know Ricky Burns decided to jump back down to lightweight. I'm not sure what his future plans are at the moment, whether he's going to jump back up or stay at that weight. But do you think that's a fight that could still possibly happen in the future? Because Scotland don't really get the chance to have two very good fighters fight against each other, and that is possibly one of the only chances of that happening in a very long time as well.
Yeah, but to be honest, I don't think that's going to happen now. Ricky Burns has moved back down to lightweight, so I think he's going to probably stay down there for the rest of his career. You know, I think he wants to chase the fight with Anthony Corolla again, get that rematch, and I hope he does. I hope he does get it and avenge his defeat to him. But it would have been a great fight. I was chasing that fight a couple of years back, you know, and because I knew, like you said, it would have been a massive fight for Scotland and for myself. In Scotland, you know, it would have been huge. We would have sold out the Hydro twice over, you know. So I thought that would have been a great fight for me to have, and a great fight for Ricky as well. But just never happened. So bit of a shame, really. But You never know. We never know, but I can't see it happening now.
Okay, well, thanks for talking to PSP Sports. Good luck ahead of your massive fight at the Hydro, and we'll catch up with you ahead of that anyway. So,
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Cheers, man.